morning. I am Sivarama Prasad, visiting faculty at IARE. Today we will talk about one of the important subject, technology readiness level, which is one of the important aspect in product development, and it comes much earlier than regular fabrication or model development. Actually, technology, if you want to take it forward, the first one is the science. Science is the subject where it will tell how to do things. That is the knowledge. Just having a knowledge doesn't help. So it has to get into a making mode. Before becoming a making mode, you have to create the idea and you have to start thinking about how to apply this scientific knowledge for practical purposes. This is called technology. And this technology will get into engineering. That is where the actual doing of the things will happen. That only is a real product, which is giving the product for the people. So if you see, on one side knowledge is there, where all these academic institutes and all, they'll be working on this. They take from the science and they create knowledge to the people and they educate the people and they create skills. But on the other side, industry is there, which is interested in developing the products, serving the people, and in the process wants to create a business. If you see the knowledge and the business, they both are not merging. There is a gap. That gap is filled by this technology. And this technology, what it does is, it interacts with science and also it brings in engineering. So, it plays a very important role. It is a sort of a bridge or a joining between us knowledge and the business. Here is collaboration. What happens is, industry is not interested about the knowledge or whatever it is. They want knowledge, but they don't put effort into that. And then similarly, institutes, they are interested in developing the people, skills, and more knowledge, more and more new things. But their focus is not onto the products. So what happens is, this technology has got a lot of challenges. One on product, another on process, another on business, another on innovation. If you see generally the market, technology, business or user and all the three have to merge. If only two are there, it doesn't make sense, or it is only a theoretical thing. It doesn't give any value to the society, like business or technology or user or business. All these three, they have to merge, and that merging point only, the innovation is there, and at that point only, the technology can make good products, innovative products, satisfied customers, sustainable market, and that only generates the wealth and give the growth to the society. So what happens is, from institute to industry, this technology is the major thing. So anytime, if you find a need that will be there in the market with the customers and all, there will be some problems, there will be opportunities, a lot of things. From there, one set of activities is, you will imagine the problems, then you will think of that and you will create, and with a creative mind, you will think new things, how to solve that, how to satisfy the opportunities, how to take the needs into the products, like that. And from that creativity comes the innovation. So there you will directly go into the merging point of the all three. There you start creating the things. So when you want to do new things, first thing you should have is there should be a maturity of technology, a design, a production. Only if these three are there at a maturity level, you can really meet the customers' requirements, and you can create a stable design which can repeat, which can sustain, and which is capable of making a product. And then the industry also, there should be some good practices where the product or technology, whichever it is demanding. So at this maturity level, there are some fitness factors. That means if you want to suppose you want to go to Olympic Games and you want to win a medal, first you should have the maturity and health and all these things. Then the fitness of the thing. Here also in the industry, there are a lot of factors. They are called fitness factors. That is commercialization experience. That means once a product is made, how you can get into the commercial mode. And while you are making, what about the general management and how to handle the functions? How about technical sales and support? What about the capital? How the handle the competition? What about the customer knowledge? And how you can take the customer commitment into your side? How much you can afford? And in the process, how you protect your intellectual properties? And how you forecast sales, or how you forecast some ambiguities, uncertainties. All these things are required, because when you're starting it, doing some product, from imagination or customer need to the end, while giving the product to the market, it needs a lot of time. In that particular time, the thing should not change, or even if it change, you should be able to assess that change and you should be able to do course corrections. That's why all these factors are very important. One side, this is fitness. Another side, you should be ready. This means readiness level. There are different things. Once the idea and the manufacturing technology you have finalized, then you have to get the technology ready to build that. And to support that, engineering should be there. And once engineering is done, you have to manufacture that. After manufacturing, you have to market it. And when you are marketing it, the business should be there. And for making the business or marketing successful, first of all, customer should be there. And when all these things are there, there should be commercial value for that. And to make all these things ready, there should be a team. And to protect yourself, IPR, and to continuously give the resources, there should be funds. So like this, there are many things you have to make ready before really getting into that. And what actually ready means, if you want to get ready for some particular event, you should have a development process. And in the process, you should have some status measures, progress charts, and then there should be some guide to take you into the right direction and to make you work on the right process, right thing, and in the right time. And while doing this, you have to communicate with a lot of people, a lot of agencies, a lot of different groups. So you should have the communications effectively. And when you are handling so many things, you should be able to manage that at different stages. At different stages, there may be things which are as per your thinking or as per plan. Some, there may be disorders, some discomforts, conflicts. You should be able to handle it at different stages. Otherwise, it gets into a jam. And once it is jam, that means the next step will be a very difficult one. So all these things should be there. And it is not that whatever is listed only, whichever function you think it is important for that particular event, you have to create all these. That means progress charts, measurements, guides, communication, management, techniques. And for that, you have to create a readiness levels. Here it is provided from 0 to 10 level. 0 being, that means at a base level. 10 is the most. Mostly all these things cover up to 9. 1 to 9, they are the more regular events which are considered in this step-by-step methods. Here, what is the technology readiness level? Technology, the main function is it should deliver its function. That means there is a knowledge. That knowledge, you want to use it for solving a problem or creating a product or satisfying a need. That means the end should be product or a service. So with the end as the goal, you have to tell how close you are to that. See, normally if you see a flight or a train or anything, when it is starting, you say it started from the station. Afterwards, you will not tell the distance from the starting point. You will always tell how much distance to be covered to reach the destination. Same way, the readiness level, it is always telling the destination is known. It is the product. It has to be shipped to the customer. So how much away from that or how much close to that, this tracks that. This gives a number of steps and a progress chart which will tell at any point of time where you are. Similarly, engineering and manufacturing. Because technology is there to support that, engineering has to come into the way. Because that is only one which is going to create it into the doing mode. And engineering is a doing mode, but manufacturing is the real activity. That is the only one which is giving the product into your hands. So it assesses the manufacturing readiness and the risks involved, how you mitigate all those things. And the next one is marketing. See, product is in your hands, but it has to reach the customer. Then only there is a meaning for that product or a marketing. So it tells commercial readiness of this technology. That means which started long back to reach the customer on perspective of commercialness. And then business, customer, all these things, they will come into the picture. So technology is a starting point, and at the end, you should get into the funds, investments, commercial, customer, teams, all these things. Otherwise, the starting will be very good. It will go to middle way, and there it gets stuck. It cannot proceed further because of some of these, if these are not ready. So if we take technology as the major one, first it is an idea. That means from imagination, creation, design thinking, divergent, convergent, and solving, creative ideas, innovation, entrepreneur, you have come to a stage where you want to do this idea, you want to take it to commercialize, or you want to make a product of it. But at that zero level, it is only creation. It is not yet proved. Really, you don't know whether it will work or not. There is no test being done. It is just an idea. So that as a starting point, you will start step number 1, 2, 3. These are basic research. In this, what you will do is, you will describe the need and you try to get the evidences for that need, and you will create a concept and you will apply that Before applying that, you want to create a formulation for that, and you want to offer it, and then see validation of the needs. That means the need is a genuine one. It will stand. It is worth doing an effort for making it into a product or a service. So this basic research is to be done. Until that time, this technology is only in the idea stage. Once the proof of concept is developed, then it gets into the next stage of applied research. That means a first step in the development. You will try to create a small laboratory model, and you see whether your concept is working or not. Will it really match the real situation? And later, if it is getting into that, then you try to make a little better prototype, so that whatever situation you wanted, in that it will work or not, you will see. And after this, then you will try to make a real prototype where you can test it in the real application. Before going to real application, you will create a simulated application where it looks like a real application, and you will try with expected performance, and then you take it into demonstration mode. That is, you are getting into the development mode. After the development mode, once the demonstration is there, then after the demonstration, then you will get into the commercial mode. Commercial means you will try to make as per the regular process, regular production, regular location. Then it gets into the final implementation. That is the production, and then start going to the market. All these levels are marked up with gates and milestones and different points at which you will exit and you will get into new entry, phase by phase, stage by stage. And once you get to 8 or 9, then this technology is successfully been given to the product. If you see the stages, principles are observed, technology concept is formulated, experimental proof of concept is done, then it is validated in the lab, then it is validated in the real environment, then it is demonstrated at the real relevant environment, then you will get into integration and then demonstrate in the regular test market, then you will get into qualified mode. Finally, you will give it to the commercial end product to the customer. At each stage, there are some questionnaires. These questionnaires means they will test or they will seek answers, so that really at what step we are. In the basic principle stage, our focus is mainly to understand the process or materials. So whether we have really understood that. So to know whether we have done properly or not, we have to create a questionnaire. Whatever is given is just an indicator. It may vary, but you have to check that with a focus of understanding the process, materials, and then relevant situations, surroundings, physical, chemical, all those things. Then second one is formulation of the application. There you have to see further solutions and get into the mode. How you have to experiment it, and how you have to see that whatever science you thought is proper or is relevant, and to confirm that or to get a feel of that, you will be reviewing papers, you will be reviewing literature, and you will be going through the old reports. All these are at the paper level or a design board, drawing board, at that level only. Because still it is not yet come to the stage of proof. Then here what you will do, in the third stage, you will try to get experimental and analysis to get a proof of concept. That means by this time, you will get into a concept mode and you will do experiments to verify whether these concepts as expected will be relevant for you or not. And you will be demonstrating this in the lab. To feel that, you have to question. That means, is this experiment validated? Is this analysis study verified? Or is the technology and system performance really established? Can the science, whatever is selected, is relevant to developing this? And modeling of simulations, validating the performance. Like this, you will be going through that for the product or for the problem. Then you will get into the component mode. That means, while you are doing this, on one side you will be doing the design requirements you will be going through. These are all step-by-step activities. And the design, when you are making, you will try to do whether this will fit into these. And you have to get a component made and test it in the laboratory. And what are all the options you want to try? You will try. And you will come to a final conclusion that yes, this is the best one or this is the next best one. And more or less at this stage, the development starts in this fourth level. Once the development starts means, by the time the integration of all the components, they all work together, and that means there is no misfit. You will come to a conclusion that yes, more or less component is at the paper level, it is okay. Now you have to try with the component level. And components also, while we are making components, you will do it look like components. You will see whether all the dimensions are harmonious and functionally will it work. Step by step you have to do it. So first one may be look alike. The second one will be to demonstrate some functions also. So you have to come out of the stage by stage risk. First the risk is size, then the risk is function, then the risk will be real-time application. And after real-time application, the life, the reliability, all those things will come step by step. So by the time you reach 6, you will get into a mode. That means prototype can be made with all the relevant things. That means by this time, you have formed the concept, you have made the design, you created the component, you tried the component for initial experiments. Now you are ready for testing it into a relevant environment, some environment. It may not be the final real one, but at least relevant to that. So here you'll be working on to the other things also, like costing, then specifications. And when you are making prototype, you will be coming across with some of the changes. That changes you will incorporate. You will try to reduce the engineering risk. And whatever differences you have noted, whatever the gaps you have found, how you want to take it from lab to the engineering level, all those things you will be making it so that you are getting into the mode of operational mode. Here, the equipment and process, it is successfully come into the operational mode. This is more or less, you are ready for the product to work in a real situation. It is almost at that level. That means fit, function, form, reliability, maintainability, everything is, you have come to that. It is almost like a final one. But normally what happens is, when you are doing products, 1 or 2 you can make very good. But when you are making hundreds and thousands, you will come across with some other risk. That is, you have crossed the engineering risk, you will get into a manufacturing risk. When you are doing part by part, day by day, the quality levels, the manufacturing levels, the defects, and the functions, to maintain that, you have to scale up. That means, first part may be very good, second part may be very good, third part may be a defect. Then you cannot make defect to continue. So you have to correct that. This stage is getting ready for that scale up. Once you cross that, in the stage at 8, that means at 8th level, it is ready for full deployment. And you can directly get into the market mode. And technology has completed its role. It has completed. That is, from the idea stage and science stage or knowledge stage, it has brought to you the product. And the product is ready in your hands. It is just about to be given to the customer for the final thing. And later on, the 9th level, it is regular operation. That means you are handing over to the regular operations, and you will get into your management, operations management, you will get into process controls, and you will introduce a lot of other skill endorsements and a lot of techniques like lean, and you will apply statistics, and you may get into different modes. And finally, it will get into the regular production mode. So until such time, the technology has the role to be played. Otherwise, in between, suppose up to 7th stage, it has come all right. At the 8th stage, if you are not able to answer these questions, and if you are not able to get through all these, then it gets stuck at 8th, and it cannot get into the market. After this, technology and engineering, they'll be going hand in hand. But when the technology is at 0 level, engineering may not be there mainly. When technology is getting into the development mode, that means at that stage, you are getting into making the component either for lab or for proto. That time this engineering comes into the picture. That's why at 4th stage or 3rd stage, engineering gets ready for making the materials, for checking the manufacturing concepts, and getting into the mode to confirm whether it will work for mass production or it will work for batch production. And such processes and all, it will start developing, and from engineering, it gets into manufacturing mode. In manufacturing mode only, the real product is getting into the shape. So, technology and manufacturing, they go just one step lagging, one step ahead like that. And in between, the engineering will be there. And when the technology first stage is over, second stage is over, manufacturing gets into that. And it gets into this by taking the data from the technology or the product, it will start working onto the manufacturing mode. First, some processes, then it will identify the implications and it will solve that. Then it will get into the materials, then it will get into the supply mode, then it will get into the manufacturing of that and the feasibility of the concepts and whether to get it regularly done or you have to develop newly, or is the production possible, or you have to invent some new processes. All those things, it will start working until the proto. Once the proto is made, it gets into regular method. Like that, it gets into level 8, 9, 10. So at 10, it is successfully given to. That means technology level 9 and manufacturing level 10, they have to merge together. At that stage, technology gets out of the role and manufacturing gets into the full control of the road. Similarly, marketing. When technology at 0 level, marketing is just thinking of the idea, whether this is marketable or not, whether whatever we have found, do we have an evidence for that, or once the evidence is there, will it be really a business wise it will give, and you will be doing a lot of the validation. Then in a small scale way, you will try with friendly customers or friendly stakeholders, whether this idea is a really working idea or is it giving the function what is expected. Then you'll correct it and get into a slightly bigger campaign. Then you'll get into a payment mode. That means as long as payment is not required, people can help or people may use it. The minute payment, then it gets to a business mode. And slowly you will take it to the business mode. And you will see that first customers are happy. Then you will get into the next mode of scaling up. Then finally getting into the stability. At the time of stability only, the business model is successful. So the marketing, it gets into idea, testing, traction, scale up. Everything is in a step mode, and all the levels you'll be crossing concurrently with the technology and manufacturing. At the same time, the business readiness. When the business concept is made at the technology level of starting at a 3 or 4, the possible business concepts, draft, and first projections, when it will come into the market, how you can create a market, and whether the market will be ready to pay, or how the sales will grow, and if they are growing, whether you get revenues properly or we may be losing, is it profitable or sustainable, or it is only a limited life, or it is only a seasonal life. All those things will be studied as you move. So all these things, major activities happen in the technology level of 4, 5, 6, because by 7 you're almost close, and by 7 you should be ready to get into the market, get into the business. Until 7 you can do a lot of things, you can do corrections, all those things, but afterwards making corrections and all will be very difficult. And if you see, any correction at the beginning is easier. As you move, the cost of it or the loss of it, it will be increasing. If you are making at the level of 10, then it will be a very dangerous situation. And parallelly, you will be working about the customer. The need which you identified at the 0 level, it should sustain until the technology has come to the 10th level. Otherwise, customer readiness, whether it is too early or whether it is late, sometimes you will see a lot of automatic products, they will come to the market, but customers will not be ready to accept that automatic products. Or sometimes customers will be in a badly need, and technology or manufacturing will not be able to give that much fast. So today you are seeing a lot of things like that in automobiles, you will see in appliances, and you will see in office equipment, you will see in telecommunications, you will see a lot of things. Sometimes customer is ready, product is not there. Sometimes this product is ahead of the customer's requirement. And all these things are on the making side, on the technology side, and on the people side. But to keep the engine running, the fuel is the commercial one, the funds and the investments, they'll all have to come. If the investments are not there, at least in the initial days, initially everybody can help, but later on it has to generate on itself, and self generation should be there. Until such time, you have to support that. So this commercial viability or support or bank assets or funds, all these are required to give the baby a life. You can see either in the plants or in the baby, child and all. Initially you have to feed a lot until they become self-sufficient to take their own food, take their own growth, take their own living. All these things are very important. Technology may be the main one, but these are all the supporting one. If they are not supporting properly, it will not get into a sustainable mode. It may live for a short period and it will die of its own. Or customers may kill it, or competition may kill it, like this. So, in summary, if you see from the need, a problem or a solution, imagination, creativity, all these things will take you to doing the new things. Once doing new things is started, the technology comes into the picture. Once the technology has sufficiently done the research, the engineering comes into the picture. And engineering supports technology to get into the development mode. While doing development, the manufacturing comes into the effect. So, engineering, technology, both put together, it will start manufacturing. Once manufacturing is there, until to a level, engineering and technology will be supporting. Then after 8, 9, 10, manufacturing becomes self-sufficient and it will start growing on its own and living on its own with regular processes, stable processes, mature design, mature technology, because everything has proven, every problem is solved. So it gets into a trouble-free mode. And at that time, when it started doing it, it needs the help of marketing, it needs the help of business, it needs the help of customer for further growth or to sustain year on year, day on day. So this is how from a need, the sustainable market, sustainable growth, sustainable economy, all these things are coming, and the technology readiness, technology plays a very important role. In summary, it is not that only one department or one group or one thing is important. At each time, it has to play its role and all others have to support it. Then only the team gets into a happy mode. And happy mode in the sense, sustained growth. This is how the technology readiness has to be taken. Actually, if you want to go deep into that, there are a lot of steps. We can deal that in the next session. For the time. Okay, thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.